Hi, I'm Roberto Martinez and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome back to Toffee TV, and we've got 2 wins to talk about. Yeah! We've actually got wins to talk about. It is amazing. Roberto Martinez is the best manager in the world. Bill Kenwright's the best chairman in the world. We've got the best ground in the world. All right, I'm going a little bit overboard. Sorry.
Right.
I'm
I thought
high
you were
on winning.
I thought we were just going to get the tunes blaring. I thought that's what we were going to do. I was going to do some funny little dance.
I need my sunglasses and my big coat.
Oh, mate. How good's that? Oh my God.
Get the tunes blaring.
Oh my God.
Everton fans
Anyway.
Right, it is me, Ped. It is Baz. We are here to have serious conversations about Everton winning. Yes! Everton winning 2 games in a row, and both those games weren't against teams from a foreign land, even though you may be able to class Newcastle as not part of actual human society. Steve's face.
All I'm saying is...
Disclaimer!
That's Ped's opinion.
Listen, I'm only messing, but people who choose not to wear socks or shirts in the winter, come on, sort yourselves out. I'm not saying I don't like Geordies. Right, anyway, two wins. The first one against Dynamo Kyiv. We come into this game, obviously, we had just over a week after that Stoke game, that horrible game against Stoke, where we were terrible and awful. A lot of pressure on the shoulders. A lot of people discussing about what the best team was going to be. Shall we swerve Europe? Shall we just stick on the Premier League? Roberto Martinez said, no, I am going for the Europa League. We've got this far, we've worked this hard to go for it, so let's continue it there. I mean, apart from playing Alcaraz, of course, he thought, right, we're going to go for this. And it turned out all right in the end, but the first 30 minutes, it wasn't great, was it?
It was dire.
It was
in a way.
Kieran and Bruce.
Yeah, it was. Really disappointing start to the game. You're looking for we'd lost at Arsenal, done okay up to a point, haven't we? Stoke, done okay up to a point, but lost both games. A lot of pressure on this one, and you're looking for some kind of reaction, aren't you? You know, the 2 defeats, you think they've had a bit of a break, they were regenerating after the weekend, and you're thinking they're going to come out the traps, they're going to put Kiev on the back foot, and it didn't happen. It was a horrible night, and they came out, and it was slow.
It was just a poor start, and obviously went goal behind, and it was a pretty poor goal to concede off a corner, just a bit of basic movement and basic blocking off. And
the first to give the corner away, was shocking. It was a cross come in, it's gone up in the air, it's been a poor header across, it's bounced to McCarthy, he's got all the time in the world to get hold of it and play it out, slices it out for a corner, has a little bit of a go at the Gladys Street to have a go back, then he comes off the post,
proper Everton
and the ball
stuff,
goes in.
Proper Everton stuff.
It was just not what you wanted, was it?
And it didn't really get any better. That really wasn't the sort of the spark. I think it wasn't until Alcaraz did that back pass where he, had 3 men on him but didn't realise that any of them could try and intercept the ball. And from there, what was good was the crowd reacted, but they didn't sort of react, and they didn't start booing, but they did react as in to say, come on, we've had enough of this now, let's get it going. And it was almost like, you do your bit, we'll do our bit, and let's kick on. And
there was a bit of boo.
No, there wasn't. I don't believe that. I'm not having this. I think what tends to happen. No. You sit in the posh seats. I sit with the people. You've elevated yourself away from that now. I
sat there for many years.
I still stand there now.
Posh seats. Posh seats. The wooden. They climb up about 400 stairs. I can't leave. It takes me 20 minutes to get out because they're narrow.
Wood retains heat a lot better than plastic does. That's all I'm saying.
My seat's plastic. It's just that everything else around me is wooden. No, let's have it right. There were a couple of times we were knocking the ball back. The crowd were getting really agitated. There was a couple of boos. It wasn't picking certain players out. It was just letting the team know that it was everything was too slow.
I think boos to you So really, someone shouting, "Come on!" That you think that's a boo in your head?
No, I don't. A boos are boo, which is what was happening. But I think for me, the turning point in the game was when Jagielka intercepts a ball, goes in for the tackle, breaks, runs up, knocks it up to Lukaku, and obviously Rom should have given. I mean, I say Rom should have given Jags the ball back. Jagielka wouldn't have killed it in, would he? They probably just, you don't know. I
actually think Lukaku should have just overhead kicked it and just Zlatan it. But I just think he should just Zlatan it.
That for me was the moment that everyone saw that the crowd were fantastic.
Lukaku gets the ball, gets it, goes on that run, #beast mode. Nice little pass to Naismith, and it's 1-1. And you know, going into half time, the crowd are up, they're believing that we can win this, and it's the spark we need. And as you said, what was good and what sort of went under the radar a little bit was those performances by the likes of Jagielka, by the likes of McCarthy, who really decided they were going to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. They were going to go in for 50-50s, they were going to go on mad runs, they were going to make sure, you know, Kiev didn't get anywhere. And I think that inspired as much as anything, especially from someone like Phil Jagielka, who his captaincy qualities have been called into question a lot this season. So
he was magnificent.
You know, brilliant stuff from him. And then second half,
well, we almost took the lead right on half time. We've had 2 shots straight away. I mean, Alcaraz, it's a stormer that's flying in the top corner. The flex.
Say what you want about Alcaraz, on corners he's very effective. He wins most headers, and then he's there for the rebound. So, you know, say what you want about him, but he is good going that way. Second half, we bring Osman on, who, you know, some people don't like him, some people do like him. But when he comes on, he does generally affect games. When he starts games, he affects games. And in this game, you know, he's busy, he's getting about, and he wins that penalty, you know, to give us the lead. And okay, it wasn't the greatest penalty in the world. It was a little bit scuffed by Lukaku, but that gave us the 2-1, and it got the crowd up. It got the emphasis to try and get more goals, to try and go and get a third one, to try and make sure we went there with a comfortable lead. But it never come. But just that little bit of spark and that little bit of fight, I think that's exactly what was needed and is what is required.
Definitely. I mean, the whole second half, when Kone come on, I thought he started backing into people, making it very uncomfortable. I think what Everton done really well was started to turn them. They were mixing it. It was going short. It was going long. It was everything what we've been asking for. And I think too often this season we've just carried on in a tippy, tappy, passy, slowly.
Tippy, tappy, passy, slowly.
Slowly, never caught the monkey. It was just back pass. And I think what we done to them was they were probably expecting that. And we almost rolled it back to #80s British football and mixed it up, played it nice and short, it's a couple round the corner. And they looked very, very uncomfortable in that second half. And the keepers made a couple of good saves. Their defence was all over the place. And you know, with a little bit of luck, it could have been 3-4-1.
To be honest, at 1-1, the way we were playing, I actually thought, you know what, with 1-1 we will go over there if we play like this and we'll get a win, because I just felt like something had changed. Players understood what is required. I mean, it's weird that for the first 25 minutes they didn't understand what was required, but a lot, you know, switch was put on.
You know what it is, mate? They came out there, they're used to a way of playing and everything, and I think the crowd have been patient, really. I know there's been murmurs in certain games and people are frustrated, and I don't think you should call people who are frustrated with how it's going. There's this kind of, if you're on social media, there's this kind of snobbery. There's the ones who have carried the Martinez banners because they want to go when we win games. We're boss because we've always backed them, and they want to call other fans all the names under the sun because they're voicing their displeasure. Now, I don't believe in singling players out. I don't believe in tweeting players personally, abuse. But I think you should be able to register your upset and anger. Let's remember that we finished 5th last season. We went and spent 30 odd million in the summer. Most of the squad's the same. Everybody's expecting Everton to be upwardly mobile. We're expecting to be hanging on to those Champions League places. We're expecting to be in a situation where we're going for bigger prizes, and it's not happened. And for too long, I think we just sat around going, no, you know, we'd like this to be better, but you know, we're just little old Everton. And it comes a point where people are going, hang on, we deserve better now. And I think what happened was, I think more than the normal murmurings went, nah, this is enough's enough now, and the players kind of, the shackles almost came.
And it's, listen, no one, I don't think, has the right to tell any other fan what their opinion is. As long as it doesn't become abusive and offensive, then I don't think anyone should tell. I see a lot of people saying, well, people shouldn't boo. Listen, you pay your money. I mean, I even seen people criticising people for not being at the game. I mean, listen, there's a million different reasons why people mightn't be able to make that game on Thursday night. Don't have a go with people. I think that's the last thing anyone should be doing. But fans have the right to say what they want, and it's also, you're allowed, if you want to criticise Roberto Martinez, you're allowed to criticise Roberto Martinez. Doesn't mean you want him sacked. Just might want him to, change something, and that's good. That's good conversation. But if we didn't all stand up and have a little moan about things, nothing would ever change, and we'd live in a society where we were all ruled by overlords. Oh wait. Anyway, moving on.
Not commercial, but we're not.
Not at the moment. Commercialisers. Yeah. Moving on. I mean, what we took from that game, I think we carried into the Newcastle game, but even more so, 4-4-2 has arrived at Goodison Park in the Martinez era, and some people were very, very shocked about this. Some people thought one of Lukaku or Kone would end up on the wing, but no, it was 4-4-2. And let's be honest, they said the man wasn't for changing. The man changed. The man put a team out that the people wanted to see. The people. We talk about not being able to voice your opinions. Well, opinions were voiced, and I think someone was listening, because this is exactly what we all wanted. This is exactly what we talked about last week. Having players play wide and stay wide, having two centre midfielders, not three centre midfielders, two centre midfielders who could do the job of three centre midfielders. And it was great to see. It was great to see. Okay, at times you might look at it and think a better team might have exposed us, but that team was for this game, and it worked. It worked well.
Yeah, I mean, it was set up as a 4-4-2. It went to a 4-3-3 at times. Lukaku drifting off wide into wide areas, but that's fine, because it meant we always had the target to hit. I think we caught Newcastle slightly unawares by the way we've gone with it. We sat here a couple of weeks ago and I said, Newcastle will know what we're going to do, because we've done it with West Brom and we've done it with teams after it. Leicester City, we had the one up front, and we'd like to see him make them changes, and he made the changes, and he got his rewards, because what it meant was, when we got the ball forward, it meant it stuck. And that, the way it worked with Kyiv, where they'd given Lukaku some space, it happened again, only this time Newcastle weren't ready for it. We had Lennon hugging the right touchline at times, coming in, creating space for Coleman to run onto. We had Osman filling in on the left-hand side, almost giving players an option. We had Gibson passing it forward and getting it back. Everything just worked in tandem. But the first thing, we had a shot within the first minute or so from Lukaku, cutting in and hitting it. It was tempo, right from the word go. The game just felt fast, and it hasn't felt fast at Goodison. I would suggest since we beat Arsenal 3-0 here last year, it was a similar kind of start.
Let's just have a quick chat about some of them individuals. Obviously, James McCarthy got that first goal. Now, he'd done something which we spoke about a while ago, and it's talking about James McCarthy being let off the leash a little bit, driving past the forwards. And I've always said I think he's got it in his locker. He's just not allowed to do it. He gets forward so quickly. He moves so quickly. He's like a gazelle. He's like a gazelle.
Fantastic.
And I think he can do it. And it proved yesterday. Okay, he got a little bit lucky with the shot, but I think he can do that. I think he can burst out of centre midfield and get forward.
Of course he can, because he'd done it at Hull last game of the season when he scored. He's got into those. I remember Crystal Palace here earlier in the season when we're 3-1 down. He plays a 1-2, gets us the penalty. I don't think it's Roberto Martinez saying don't cross the halfway line. I think it's just James McCarthy's natural game is I want to mop up and protect areas. But yesterday he went on beyond Lukaku, and if he does that, not many will live with him, because once he gets into his stride, he's really, really quick. We need players going past the front. Remember what happened was Lukaku kept hold of the ball. Jazza just knocked a 50-yarder in, no more than 5 foot all the way. Rom's got hold of it, nice and strong, kept it into the path. And why was he able to do that? Because they had
only got one man on him.
They had Aruna Kone to look after.
Because he's only got one man on him. the other centre backs are occupied, or the other defenders are occupied with the other centre forward. It's basic football. We've been talking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. How extra players in positions can open up space for your most talented player. One of our most talented players is Lukaku, so help him out, and that's what we obviously did yesterday. The other player I want to mention is Leon Osman, another player who comes in for a lot of stick. I thought his cameo on Thursday night was fantastic. Thought, you know, in the other games he's come on, he's done well, and he played on the left-hand side. And no matter what you think of Leon Osman or whatever, but I thought he did a great job yesterday where he held his position really well, which Naismith and Barkley just don't do when they play out there. They don't necessarily have the intelligence to just hold the position. He just stayed out there. He did come inside at times, but he just stayed out there. It allowed Baines to get forward. Now, listen, Baines didn't get any more forward than he does on most games. But when it broke down, Osman was there to get the ball back and keep it moving and keep it... And really, Osman's done a job that Pienaar did for so long yesterday. Okay, they didn't work together like those two did, but he gave us that little bit of natural width. Okay, not a bursting winger, but he stayed out there and he stretched the play and he made Newcastle think about both sides of the pitch.
What was there yesterday? What was there yesterday that there hasn't been? There was gaps in the pitch. There was holes everywhere.
Space.
Loads and loads of holes because Everton just pulled people out of position. Also, look, anyone who knows me knows I'm not Leon's biggest fan. Just because I think he's probably spent most of his career out of his natural position, which is just off the front man or in that middle. But what Leon has got is fantastic feet, great awareness, and we've needed him. Yeah. We have needed him, and he was absolutely fantastic yesterday. He was having a go at our own players, pulling people into position, winning headers, and look, he will get you vital goals as well. He done the job better than anyone else has done since Pienaar yesterday, exactly. And that's the fact. That's fact of the matter.
That's it. Gibson as well, I thought, and what's great about having Gibson in there as well is he moves the ball forward. He's an intelligent player. He's always looking to go forward with it. So he's getting the ball. I think what you just saw about there is the gaps. He finds the passes through them gaps really, really well. So we had a really good game as well. And obviously, you know, a lot of people get on the backs of Barry, and Barry does a job, but Barry doesn't want to go forward like Gibson does. And what we had is we always had forward momentum yesterday. I think always had it. On the other side, on the right hand side, we've got someone like Adam Lennon buzzing about, you know, players finding him, and he's always his end ball, his final delivery is not always great. I mean, that's something that he's got to add to his game. I know he's getting towards the peak he is, but he's got to add that. But what he was an absolute nuisance yesterday.
He was my man of the match. My man of the match, quite simply. He set the tone. First couple of minutes, he was everywhere, tracking back. I don't know whether you can remember early on where the kid who played wide was in down the back, Amiobi was in down the back with pace, and Lennon just goes, matches him side for side, wins the goal kick, great tackle. He was up and down, he gave Coleman an option. What he done yesterday was more than in other games where Martinez is narrow. He's tended to come in alongside the striker, and he's receiving the ball with his back to goal. It's not his game. He wants the ball into his feet, and he can take it out of his feet and hit the space. And his work rate was phenomenal yesterday. Yeah. He was a nuisance. They had to put two men on him. He skipped past them a couple of times. You're right, his final ball. This is something I highlighted in January when we were going for him. He'll give us an outlet, a real pace. His final ball ain't great, and it's worked like that. But for me, yesterday and the penalty, he got out of absolutely nothing. Exactly. He's probably the only player on the pitch who could have got the penalty. Who had was 5 yards in his boot. I would have liked him to get a little bit more chalk on his boots. I think he should have stayed out wide a lot more, because Coleman wasn't getting forward. He didn't. I don't know what's wrong with Coleman. For me, he was our worst player.
But he didn't want to get forward. He didn't want to go past them. So I think there was a lot more times when you see in the second half, saying where McCarthy was breaking out with the ball, and he wanted that wide option, and Lennon was coming inside. I wasn't always sure why he was doing that, but I'm sure there's a reason. And whatever the manager.
But I think with the Coleman thing, he didn't have a very good game for me. Coleman done okay. He done okay in a team performance that was very good. He kind of was bordering on the average side, because too many times he faces up with a defender and he just thinks he can move his body and they'll move out the way. He's got to just get half a yard and put a delivery in for me.
He's got to have the momentum, hasn't he? He's got to be on the run.
You know, when you're standing a player up, when you're standing up in front of someone, just going like that, if they're a good defender, they'll just look at the ball. So all he needs to do is shift it and put it in early. If he gets that across, it gives Lukaku a chance to go in. But
Alcaraz and Jags had good games. Alcaraz at times, but you know,
I thought he was very good.
I don't with Sissoko giving the run round a little bit, which led to a fantastic save from Tim Howard. Great save and a great early save as well.
That was one, but then there was the one where towards the end he comes in with the block tackle when the kid went.
Yeah, there was. To be fair, Newcastle didn't really have much up front to offer, so you know they were quite comfortable.
The defenders done quite well, though. Yeah. You can't always look. I don't think you can always look at them.
I'm just saying. But Tim Howard, listen, you might want to like.
I'm going to cut this and put this on repeat on Twitter.
I tell you what, his early save was fantastic, kept us in the game, because who knows what would have happened if Newcastle had scored that early in the game. And obviously the save later on when it was 2-0 could have made the last 10 minutes a little bit nervy. It was a fantastic save, so brilliant saves from Tim Howard. And it was just an all-round great display. And do you know what? Know what the biggest thing is? 54% possession. We still won the possession. Come on, get the tunes on. We still won the possession.
I think the thing is that when you talk, and there's certain people on Twitter, I won't name names, who just love the Martinez theory of just pass, and they can't. They're so blinkered they can't even have a conversation.
Were they turning away from the first goal yesterday? Were they looking away in disgrace?
Probably, because they can't even have a conversation about how you keep that kind of philosophy and theory and speed it up a little bit. And that's what we done yesterday. We mixed the whole thing up. We were fantastic when we had the ball. You know, when we needed to, we hit it a little bit more direct. And it was an exciting game. It was an exciting performance. I'd have liked us at 2-0 when Colaccini went off to go for the throw, but I think it was
about getting 3 points.
They just wanted. I don't think they wanted to take any risks, you know, unnecessary risks.
You know, Kroll still had to make plenty of saves. I mean, it could have easily been 5-0, no problem with the amount of saves he made. So we're still getting plenty of saves. Kone, listen, he needs to learn how to just put the ball in first. The one where he tried to go round Kroll was almost comical.
But he did go round him. Why didn't he just hit it? He went round him.
On his left foot.
Doesn't matter, just dink it towards goal.
I don't know what was going on with him.
But he played Kone yesterday.
He played really well, though.
He was a big difference because it enabled Lukaku to really
do what Lukaku does.
And he had a boss game.
Great penalty. What was your thoughts on the penalty when he grabbed it and it was in rather than Baines?
Well, at 1-0 you're always worried because you're thinking Baines is so good, but Rom scored 2 out of 2, hasn't he? So,
man in form,
and he's playing well, he's scoring goals, so why not? Look, you know, if he's scoring penalties, why take them off? And strikers used to take them.
So actually gets his ratio up as well.
I thought to be honest, I thought he deserved the goal more than Baines. He worked hard. I thought him and Kone, for me, showed a real partnership, a real intent.
There was a desire, wasn't there?
And I think
there was a desire from everyone yesterday. That's what was great.
I just think if you look at them two up front, not many defenders will fancy it against them two, because you've got Kone who's, I mean, he went on one in the first half. Gibson, it was just a little snapshot of what was to come, really. But Gibson's got the ball on the halfway line, and Lukaku comes short, and their two defenders go with Lukaku, and Gibson just pings one over the shoulder, and Kone's in, and he's trying to bring it down, and just couldn't get hold of it. But you thought, just from that, Newcastle then didn't know where to go. Do we take 2? We put 2 on Lukaku. Do we go 1 for 1? When he went 1 for 1, there was a lot more space in front.
Well, that was it. As we come out, forward momentum. Players are trying to get forward, going into those spaces that are opened up by the strikers. And what was good about it as well was we didn't have loads of the centre-back passing to the centre-back and the centre-back passing to the full-back. The centre-backs were getting it into Gibson, and Gibson was then turning. I mean, a lot of the time we do see the centre-back giving the ball to Barry, but then Barry hasn't got the range of passing that Gibson has got. Gibson looks to ping long balls, he looks short balls, he'll pull out round the corner. He's got such a good range of passing, Gibson, that you don't always have to play around with the centre-back. It can go forward. I think that was a massive difference yesterday.
I think the problem with Darren Gibson is people have forgot what a good footballer he is because of his injuries, and he makes us tick at times. When Moyes brought him in, he was fantastic till he got that injury. We championed him many a times, and he was one of our most important players. And to have him back now with the quality of player he's got round him now, because our level has gone up, you know, since when he first came. You can see what he's trying to do.
He looks
give
fit.
A couple of dodgy balls.
Yeah, he's still, I don't think he's still 100%, and he will play those percentage balls that, and when I say percentage, I mean he'll play that kind of pass where
it's a risk. It's risk.
If it goes through, it will be a perfect pass. Where it gets cut out, can leave
it's
it.
Risk taking.
But you know, it's experience. He knows.
I thought for me as well, the other thing that we done very well was bringing Atsu on and Barkley on, and Atsu come on and could play. Well, obviously it's 2-0. You know, we could play with a little bit of the leash taken off him. He went on, you know, a fantastic run to release Ross for a much needed goal. You know, it was a great finish from Rossi. I mean, he should have scored earlier on when Lennon played it in. Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm saying he should have scored. He hit the ball well. It was blocked on the line. It was, you know, but that was the nice little cherry on the top. Yeah. You know, and it'll do Atsu the world of good to have an assist, and it'll do Ross the world of good to get the goal.
It will. It was a great run, and it was a great finish as well. I mean, obviously, so that puts us up to 31.7 wins. I mean, it's still not very good, but at least we've got a couple of wins under our belt before, you know, another tough week. Obviously, we've got to go to Kiev and we've got to go to QPR. I mean, Kiev 2-1 up, and he'll likely bring Barry back, won't he? I think he'll probably keep Osman in the team as well, and he'll go. I'm sure we'll go looking for goals, but he'll be looking to try and just ebb a result out.
I think Naismith will come in for Kone over there. I don't want us to go and try and play for a draw. I think that you're just waiting to lose that. Obviously, they only need a goal. I can see us scoring over there. I don't think they're particularly good at the back. But obviously, we're going to need that goal. But, you know, something like a 2-2 would do, wouldn't it?
Well, that's it. I mean, any kind of score draw, we're going through. And I think, you know, what you've seen this year as well, you've seen Martinez go to places, you know, like Lille and know how to get results. Krasnodar know how to get results.
Wolfsburg, who were a top side.
You know, we've done this before. I think we can go there and we can get some, because, you know, they weren't the best side in the world. They just caught us cold for the first half.
I think for me the first 20 minutes is key. If we can just get the crowd settled down and we can keep the ball and get hold of it and turn them a little bit, I think that'll set us up nicely then. Yeah,
they looked a decent side, and I think they're going to be a lot better at home than they were away. Yeah, so, I mean, as you mentioned, it's about quietening the crowd down. If we can do that, then I think we can get a result, and, you know, then we'll be into the quarter-final. You know what? Feels like we should be at the semi-finals or somewhere. There's not that many games in it, but we'll be at the quarter-finals, and then obviously going into Sunday's game against QPR. I mean, that's going to be a tough game, but, you know, confidence levels should be up, and we should be looking, I think, to go to QPR and absolutely steamroll them.
Definitely. I mean, I think the thing with the QPR game is that they've got to come out at us, haven't they? They need to win. The draw's no good to them. You know, their position is looking perilous now. They're already 9 points behind us, so they're going to have to come out at us and be open. And, you know, Everton on the counter-attack can pick teams off. Lukaku, Lennon, Morales should be fit by then. You know, obviously, hopefully Barkley, his confidence will be up. You know, we've got pace, and QPR are struggling a little bit. If we could get in front against them. Obviously, we're coming back from Kiev, so there'll be a few changes probably from Thursday to Sunday. But look, you win a game and you want the next one, don't you? You want that confidence to go, you know, to run through the team. And I think maybe getting that win now against Newcastle will start us off. You know, we've got 9 games. 5 wins shouldn't be too big an ask given.
I don't think it should. I think you know, from before the Newcastle game, I said 5 out of 10 because of the team. Not only the teams we've got to play against, but also this is not a terrible Everton team. This is a good Everton team. Just needs to wake up to where they are. And I think, as we've mentioned, at some point in the last couple of games, we've woke up to where we are. So there's no reason why we can't go and get at least another 4 Premier League games. And you know, get into the quarterfinals of the Europa League and see where that takes us. Definitely.
It's confidence, isn't it? It's all about confidence. You win games, everyone relaxes. You get that feeling about winning games. It was becoming getting used to getting beat, even when we'd lose. And when we lost the other week, you just kind of go, oh yeah, we got beat again.
It's having it's knowing what that winning feeling's like as well. I mean, how many times have we been in games where it's like we're gonna go on and win this, and we haven't. And there's almost been that nervousness to win games. If that makes sense, getting over the line. Knowing what it takes to get over the line. I think that's the thing with the Newcastle game. The results on Saturday. Sunderland getting hammered around by Villa. Villa were all of a sudden just one win behind us. Burnley beating Manchester City. Burnley, a win behind. And you start looking, thinking, I'm gonna say, this is getting very tight now. We're in the middle of March and we're 3 points ahead of the relegation places. It's worrying. And so for us, the pressure was on us on Sunday. So to go out and put that kind of performance in and score 3 goals as well. Fantastic, And I think if we can get that win, against QPR, I really think that'll be, for us, that'll see us safe and go on to win more games. And for me, it'll mean QPR have gone really. I mean, they've lost the last 3. They played Palace at the weekend and looked really dead and buried, to be honest. Although Matt Phillips scored goal of the season. What a goal! I think look for us, if we can even avoid defeat by QPR, I can't see them catching us. The irony is, QPR have only actually won one less game than we've won this season, which is absolutely amazing. It's good at home. They're decent at home. That's the thing. They've only won away at Sunderland. Other than that, they've lost. I think it's every away game. But at Loftus Road, Charlie Austin will obviously be a bit of a handful. He's been in form this season. But really, if we go there and we're full of confidence and we keep doing what we've been doing the last couple of games, and actually, just remember what it's about. Fighting for the shirt and fighting for the points. The biggest thing is not to lose. Obviously, we want to win the game. We win the game, we're on 34 points. We start breathing a little bit easier. Yeah. The biggest thing is not to lose there, because you don't give any encouragement. But I think as well, if we do win, then I seriously think we can start looking at a top 10 finish. Top 10 finish? No, I think we can think about a top 10 finish, and that's something to aim for with the last remaining games, isn't it? That's something to say, right, we're going to go and try and catch those teams above us, and if we are still in the Europa League, then you can sort of say, well, you know what, we've got something to go for at the end of the season. Definitely a top 10 finish is on if you can start winning games. I'm still looking over the shoulder at the moment, although I feel a lot better about us now, knowing that he's got the ability to mix it up. That's all we want. We all want Roberto Martinez to do well. We want him to succeed. He's a young manager. He's obviously a very, very good coach. No one likes stubbornness, because what you have to be in football is flexible. You have to be able to mix the short passing game with the long passing game. You have to be able to grind results out. You have to win in many, many different ways, but you can still retain that football and philosophy of passing the ball around. But if we can get the win, 34 points, Villa is still a bit close for my liking. Sunderland is still around us, Hull, West Brom. But if we get 34 points on Sunday night and we've won back-to-back Premier League games, with Southampton at home to come, it'll be a tough game. There's still lots of points for us to play. Newcastle on 11th, and they're on 34 points. 35 points, sorry. So it's 4 points. And they play Arsenal. There's 4 points there. West Ham are in 10th and they're on 39 points. They've got to be the team we need to be looking to aim for. Definitely, that's the way we should be thinking now. Go to QPR, get a win, go from there. That's the way. That positive. Let's be positive, right? Well, it is. It's putting points on the board, and that win will do the world of good, because what it does is it gives everyone a belief. It gives the players, the manager, and the fans the belief. Let's have your comments down here. Let's have your comments on YouTube. Make sure you get in touch with us that way. We've got a new show. It's called #Toffee Tweets. What a name. It took you hours to come up with that. It took me absolute hours. Days. Right. We're going to be doing all the tweets and all the YouTube comments in there, and we'll be reacting to them. So make sure you get in touch with us with them as well. So that's on Toffee. That's on Twitter. It's ToffeeTV1. #Toffee Tweets. Let us know all your thoughts on any of the games. We'll put them on that show, and all your comments on YouTube as well. Right, stay here, because coming up on the show, the new British champion, Jazza Dickens, will be joining us, telling us all about how he won that belt. Don't go away.
This is Bob Latchford, and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome back to Toffee TV, and it is brilliant to have Jazza Dickens back in the show. last time he come, he was empty-handed, a little bit sad and disappointed. He's come back with a big shiny belt now, he's all made up.
Showing off.
He's won he's now the British champion, beat Josh Whale. Happy days.
Happy days.
Echo Arena, last Friday night. Well, just tell us all about it. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it was a great night, good experience. My first 12-round fight, I won. The lads out of the gym won, Kevin Satchin and Stephen Lewis. So we had a good night all round. We just go, we have a good time really in the changing room. We have a laugh, we enjoy ourselves.
I'd be crying in the dressing room beforehand. I'd be like giving, I don't know, but you'd had a little bit of previous with them as well in the press conference. I noticed as well, a few people making a few tales about you having a bit of argy-bargy. Much to talk about there, or is that just all part of the boxing pantomime?
No, he's a nice lad. Josh Whale, he's a respectable guy. He's just got a bit out of hand. But it was okay. He's alright.
You or him?
It was him.
So obviously the Echo Arena, you're in front of your own fans. I mean, what were you? I mean, obviously you were confident because boxers are always confident. You're not going to tell us any different, but going into the fight itself, were you just thinking, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to prove any doubters I've ever had wrong, and I'm going to just go and get that title back.
Yeah, there was the rain cloud over me since I lost for the title 18 months ago, and there's been that rain cloud following me for the last 18 months, and when I won it was gone instantly. I looked over, it was gone. But it was nice when I won the belt. The cheering in there was amazing. Everyone there to support me and stuff like that. It was the biggest achievement to date for me, so it was nice to have it in front of my own people. Of
course, and you won it on points, but I believe you had a couple of points, or certainly a point taken off you for throwing a few shoulders around. You know, you were in here last time talking about how you don't like, footballers throwing themselves over, and is you throwing shoulders in?
Yeah, none of it was malicious though. A few people was complaining about it, but none of it was malicious, and I think he was throwing his weight on me, so I was just doing it to get him off me. I weren't trying to catch him in the face with the elbow or nothing like that. I'm not that type of fighter, but I don't know why I was doing that, to be honest, but I think it was just to get him off more and create space for myself.
Happy days, I mean, that's it, isn't it? I don't know, I've never been in a boxing ring, I don't know what's going on.
I'll never be in.
But you were obviously confident of winning, and going into that final round, you think, right, I've got this, I'm going to get that belt back. Yeah,
my coaches said you're up easy. I trusted my coaches. They're not the judges, but I trusted them. They said you're up easy, no need to get into a war, just pick your feet up and move, and the title's ours, so that's what I've done, and we came away with the belt.
So go on.
Does it play on your mind going into it? Obviously the last time you were there it didn't work out great for you. Is that weighing on your mind? Do you put more pressure on you than anyone else, or did you just put that out of your mind this time and just think, I'm just going to fight what's in front of me?
I was there to enjoy myself, but there also is you want to prove the doubters wrong, and I wanted to prove that I could do 12 rounds, and I'm very, very fit, and I did, I think.
So what's next? I mean, obviously you've got the belt now, but obviously you're not going to stop there. You're going to move forward. So what's the plan now? Yeah,
I've been very inactive for the last 18 months, so I'm looking forward to move. I'm a target now, and everyone wants to crack at the British title, so I'll be busy now, and I'll put my trust in my managers and my team around me, and I'll be busy now. So maybe it'll be defend that or otherwise, I don't know. But
what as a boxer, I mean, obviously you want to defend that belt and you want to prove that you are the champion, but in terms of going on to the next level, Euros or the world champion, I mean, what kind of time frame does that actually take in account?
Well, you have to consider that the people who are fighting for it now, they're going to take 12 weeks to train for the fight, then they're going to have a month off, and then another 12 weeks, so that's like 6 months, you know what I mean? So you have to keep yourself busy as well, and you have to also go on your path as well as wait behind them, because you can go stale.
Yeah, so you're probably looking 2 years, so you're fighting in Vegas?
6 years, yeah. If I wait behind them, yeah, 10 years.
I think you'll get there. I think you'll be all right. Now, obviously, yesterday against Newcastle, you were here at Goodison Park. You were out on the pitch. Half time with the belt. I mean, how did that all come about? My manager, I think, sorted it with Bill Kenwright. Bill Kenwright gave me good seats, and he looked after me. And when I was on the pitch, it was amazing. The response I got, come out as red cars to the tunnel and all that. It was amazing. I was more nervous than I am for a fight. When the red cars came on, I was like, I'm going out here. What do we do? So I'm like that with the belt.
I looked on the screen in the corner, it's my face, it was surreal really. It was a nice day.
And you say you met Bill and he looked after you as well, apparently, you know, he gave you a better seat, didn't he?
Yeah, he put me in the director's box, me and my mate, he looked after us, so thank you to Bill for that as well.
You didn't have an obstructive view first, did you? Before you got put in the director's box. You just remembered we've got a champion on our hands.
Any players, did you bump into any players while you were about?
Bainesy, he's my favourite player.
Well, he is now.
Yeah, he is now. I shook hands with Baines. A few of them, yeah. I shook a few hands. It was nice to meet them.
Brilliant. Was it nice to be back at a game? Because obviously last time you were on, you said, you know, you concentrate solely on the boxing, so you don't get to as many games. But it was nice to be back and watching an Everton win as well.
Yeah, when you think, don't you, why are we so far down the league if we can play like that? It was a great performance by them. I'd like to see them play like that all the time.
Did you do the team so?
Yeah.
That's right. I thought he came up with some energy.
I was the lucky mascot, I think.
Go every week now, mate.
So obviously you've got the belt back now. I mean, that's going to stay in your hands for the forthcoming future, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, defend it. Maybe win it outright. That would be nice.
So you've got a bit of time off as well. So when would you be looking at possibly your next fight?
I'll be out as soon as possible. I'll fight next week, but maybe like 12 weeks or something like that.
Do you have the career path when you sit down with your team to say, look, I've done this now, but obviously aiming, like Ped said before, maybe the Euros next, but there's going to be people who want to fight you now, aren't there, who you know, you've got mandatory defence and things like that. So do you have that path mapped out, or is it still all at the moment, like just let's get the next fight arranged, let's get the training done and see where that takes us?
Every fight if you've got a good manager, there'll be a means to an end. So I think the guy who boxed, he was ranked third in Europe, so if I take his place then I could be mandatory for that European, or maybe defend that. If we have to wait too long, we got a fight in between. But it's more about means to an end. Just
keep doing what you're doing, and happy days, the world's your lobster. Okay. Well, absolutely brilliant to have you in anyway, mate. I hope we rubbed off on you a little bit of good luck anyway. Steve won as well, didn't he? So that's, you know, it's 2 out of 2 for us, so they'll all be coming on here next.
Yeah, all be.
Riddick Bowser Blue, get him on the phone. See if he wants to come out of retirement.
Be brilliant. I don't think we could have helped Frank Bruno though.
He's not blue anyway, so
no.
Right, Jazza, brilliant to have you back on the show, and absolutely amazing that you won the belt and you've got what's yours back in your hands, right? Brilliant to have Jazza on the show. From me, Ped, and from Baz. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks, lads.